Hey there, back again. So this is about open wide because I went to the dentist this week. Not sure how much there was to talk about this week. Sometimes it feels like, life's just normal, isn't it? And how interesting is it for you to listen to these things? But I guess I'm just trying to show people that we can have good times, there are bad times, there's things we have to deal with, and it is just life. And even though my husband is dying, actually, life still goes on. So it's just about sharing that journey with you. And some stuff did happen this week. So I mean, Mick's actually still in recovery period, really, since the stem cell transplant. So it's best that he doesn't go out at the moment because it would be really easy to pick up an infection. So, life is very much in and around the house, certainly for him anyway. But we did have a couple of friends over at the weekend, just for coffee and cake. They stayed a couple of hours, which was really enjoyable. Lots of good chat. And this is the first time we've seen them since Mick got the news about his life expectancy. So there was lots of talk around that. And I mean, they're in their mid 70s. They've, the chap had cancer treatment some years ago. So he's kind of faced some of these challenges, and they understand the thoughts and emotions that go with it. So it was really nice to have it. And it was good for Mick to get, some company other than just me. So much as he loves me, I'm sure I irritate him sometimes. We all irritate each other, don't we? Although he is very, very good with all my nagging and controlling. He kind of goes with the flow these days. I think he finds it easier. So that's good for him, I suppose. But yeah, it was nice anyway to have the friends round and have that conversation with them. And Mick wants it to be normal to talk about that he's going to die. And actually, it is a couple of years away. So actually, it seems like a long way at the moment. It doesn't really feel that real. So when we talk about it, when he talks about it, it kind of feels like something that you're planning in the distance. So it's not it's not really upsetting or anything at the moment. I'm sure that will come over time. But yeah, so that was nice. What else? It was Mother's Day this weekend. So I got up early. I drove down to see my parents, and they live by the sea. So I stopped for a short walk along the seafront before I went to see them, which was lovely. I just love being by the sea. I love the sea so much. One day I'm going to live by the sea, right by the sea with a sea view. And it'll be on my own, obviously. It'll be after Mick has popped his clogs. So I do mention it to him, but I try not to rub it in because I think he'd really like to live by the sea. We used to live by the sea in this country, or not far away, only sort of like a 5 minute walk, but we're about a 20-minute drive at the moment. So once he's fit enough, we'll go out and I'll take him down to the seafront and we can get his wheelchair out and go for a wheel along. So I think that'd be nice to do. But anyway, my dad had made us bacon sandwiches. My mum handed me a Bucks Fizz as soon as I walked through the door. I'm sure only my mum drinks fizz to 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Any excuse for birthdays, Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day. So I only drank a little bit, obviously, because I was driving. But it was a lovely visit. And sometimes it's nice for me to see my parents on my own. Not that we talk about anything different, particularly to a Mick there, but it's just family, isn't it? And Mick gets on really well with my parents, but sometimes it's just nice to have them to myself. So it was a really nice visit. I was just there for a couple of hours, and it was really nice until I left to go home when I got stuck on the motorway. And there'd been an accident, and so I was literally stopped on the carriageway. I turned my engine off, and that added about 40 minutes to my journey. But again, you just think, oh, I'm glad that it's not actually me involved in the accident. It was a pretty pathetic accident as I went past it. Anyway, it was only a small bump, but I think they must have been in the middle of the carriageway and had to get them off or something. So but there I was stuck. So just spend a little time thinking. I had the music on, I was singing away. So it was fine. And my only concern was telling Nick because I was going to be. I mean, I was probably 40 minutes later than I would have been. And he didn't answer the phone, didn't answer the home phone, didn't answer his mobile. So I just left a message and hoped that he got it. And he did. He was fine. So we had a nice afternoon when I got home. That was Sunday. And it was very relaxed. I cooked a winner chicken dinner. And we watched a bit of crafts, which is always nice. The dogs always cheer you up a bit. There was also an F1 race this weekend, which was much better than last week's race. Max still trounced the field, but at least the cars behind him did some good racing. It was a bit more interesting than the first race. So that was okay. Um, Now I've had a very sore knee this week, which meant I stopped walking for a few days. And I do miss it when I go out for a walk, which is why I hadn't stopped before, even though I've had the sore knee for a couple of weeks. But you know how it is, just keep going, don't you? Just keep going and going until it's kind of like too late. Anyway, I decided I needed to rest it. So it's had probably 5 days rest. And then on the fifth day, I suddenly realized it wasn't hurting anymore. So I went out for another 5 mile walk, and it was absolutely fine. So yeah, I love my walks in the woods. I mean, I'd rather walk along the beach, but the woods are still good. And I meet people that I've been bumping into, watch the squirrels run around, pat the dogs. It's been nice. And then Mick had a visit from his physio this week. So I think I said in the last episode that they'd rung and booked an appointment, and that was this week. He was really good. He gave Mick some great advice. He gave him some easy exercises that he can do sort of sitting down and maybe standing up, holding on to things. I mean, he won't do them, of course, but that's his choice. I'll nag him for a few days, get him to do them, and then I'll get bored of nagging, and he won't remember to do them. And that'll be that. So we've done them once so far, and the physio came back 3 days ago. So I might try and persuade him this evening, but I just feel sometimes he has to make his own choices, and much as I'm happy to help, it can't be for me to nag him all the time. He has to want to do these things. So I'm going to leave that one with him. But on my front, the good news is that I've not eaten any sugar for 17 days now. This is day 18, and we're nearly through that. No biscuits, sweets, or chocolate, and I definitely feel better for it. But I've not actually lost any weight. In fact, I'm sure I feel podgier than I was before. So I don't quite know what's happening there. I mean, not that I'm on an actual diet, but I thought cutting out some of the snacking would make a difference. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I did go to the dentist this week. I did open wide, let him look in my mouth. I don't hate the dentist, but I just find it really difficult to swallow. And then then they talk to you. And anyway, fortunately, it was only about 12 minutes, so nothing really to worry about, and everything is all good. So that's good. I've also had my hair cut, well, trimmed really, because I'm trying to grow it. So she's just sort of tailored it for me, made it neater, which is good. I'm pleased with that. I've also coloured it. I've not done as great a job as I do sometimes. You can see some yellow bits there, but the good thing is most things are done on video these days, so you can only see this front bit, so that's all good. And they'll just have to do for the moment, because I'm really not that precious about it. I'm absolutely not a perfectionist, as you'll get to know as you get to know me. What else? Good stuff. I had a really positive meeting with a potential corporate client this week. That went really well. That was from after I did the International Women's Day webinar last week. So that's good. So fingers crossed that turns into some business, because it's always good to have a little bit of extra money coming in. And that's about it. So I thought there wasn't much to say, but actually there's a few things going on this week, wasn't there? But life is just life, isn't it? Exciting things don't happen all the time, and that's okay. Even for the man that's dying, you can't literally do something exciting every minute of every day. So what we are doing though is enjoying our conversations. We're watching films that we've either never seen before or that we haven't seen for a long time. This afternoon we sat down and watched Cocktail, Tom Cruise. That's brilliant. I love that film. I haven't seen it for a few years, or probably longer than that, but we really enjoyed it. It was a wet, miserable afternoon, and we just sat down and watched that. So we're doing things like that. We are smiling a lot. We're laughing a lot at silly things, small stuff that just goes on, just day-to-day stuff. We have a little giggle about things. And that just lifts your mood then. So, for us, it's about trying to find those happy moments in the day, because that's what life is. It's just a series of moments that join together. And if you can see the joy in them and spot the happy moments, make them happy, then it makes life a lot happier anyway. So there we are. That is this week. And please remember to click the button or thumb or whatever it is to subscribe, and keep joining me as I waffle on each week about the life of the wife. The Diary of the Wife of the Dying Man. I should get used to saying that, shouldn't I? The Diary of the Wife of the Dying Man. Follow me. And if you've got any questions or any thoughts or comments, then please do let me know. I'm really always happy to chat to people and talk about our experiences and share experiences, because I know, I have had some lovely messages from people, and I do know that there are people that are getting something out of this. So I am going to keep going, and up to you to decide if you join me, but I hope you do. Take care.